All right, welcome back to the AM show. Let's do the matters rising now. But let's start with what the papers are reporting. And MFA Ofori-Atta, the screen goddess, is standing by with that. Hi, MFA, how are you?
Hello, Kojo. Are you well?
I'm well.
It's midweek.
See, even if I'm not well, seeing you is enough medicine for me.
Let me do this quickly so that I'll get out of here. So let's start with the Daily Guide this morning, Kojo. So, Cabinet Japan unveils 6-pillar policy. If you missed it, we brought it to you live on the Joy News channel yesterday. But if you missed it, grab a copy, Daily Guide. Of course, you'd find it as well on my Joy Online. But it's in the Daily Guide, and they're reporting it this morning. You also must have heard that no more raw gold exports in Ghana. Well, Gold Board, Gold Coast Refinery signed a deal that a certain amount or tons of gold will be refined locally in Ghana. I hope that makes you feel okay. Now, Acquah must go. The minority alleges that he is kind of truncating certain foreign policy procedures. And so they think that he is not doing a good job, and so he must leave. I'm certain that you may have heard about this story as well, Kojo. Ex-NPP parliamentary candidate stabs wife in US and his arrest, and all of this is alleged. The story, full story, is in the Daily Guide this morning. And some kudos to Margins as they take ID success to the Gambia as well.
When we had them in the studio last year, they made mention of
they hinted it, right?
Going beyond the borders of Ghana.
That's really cool. The Accra Times this morning, BOG boss to launch media recognition initiative. Story is on page 3 of the Accra Times. And CPDA assesses public perception of President Mahama. I think it is one of these public perception indexes that they've been measuring, and the president seems to be scoring on higher margins. If you take a read, is in the Accra Times this morning. And minority MPP accused Acquah over foreign policy posture. That's the story over there. Also, Ambassador Victor Smith addresses concerns of citizens in the US. It's a full read in the Accra Times, as he's been giving a lot of updates on what he plans to do and how he plans to do them, especially on how Ghanaian citizens are handled in terms of immigration concerns in the US and other issues as well. Story is in the Accra Times this morning. I will take you to another newspaper. I'll try if my thing works. I'll take you to another paper. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to follow on Yao to give me another newspaper to do.
Technology.
I know. Okay. Well, the Ghanaian publisher this morning, Ghana signs historic gold refinery deal. 1 ton of gold to be refined locally every year. What does this mean, Kojo?
So what they want to do is that every week in Ghana, we want this Gold Coast Refinery would refine 1,000 ton of gold. Okay. Which means that whatever gold that Gold Board will buy, it has to go to the Gold Coast Refinery for them to refine. That's why they say we won't export raw gold again. So we'll have it refined in Ghana. Okay. That will obviously raise the selling price.
All right. And maybe mitigate all of those losses that the IMF has been predicting, because you see, these are trade losses.
It could.
Because they export in the raw form. Right. The Ghanaian publisher as well is reporting that the minority is insisting that sack reckless and incompetent Acquah. Story is on page 2.
Will the president sack his darling boy?
Is he his darling boy?
Or you say one of his shining stars, of
course,
he? Right?
Okay.
Because the Foreign Affairs Ministry, if you look at what they are doing, you would consider him as one of those shining.
You say that the minority is called as not an...
No. I mean, they've cited reasons.
Okay.
So it is left to the president to say, well, these reasons warrant his sack. If it doesn't, well, he'll probably explain to them that Maka, but Munim.
Well, so family alleges judicial misrepresentation in Lungwa land dispute. The story is on page 6. And if you're interested in it, I know that it is about land litigation and that a judgment that the Supreme Court delivered so many years ago is coming up with misrepresentation. Yes. Land litigation is a challenge in this country. If it's a concern to you, it's on page 7 of the Ghanaian Times. And of course, the Ghanaian Times is advertising for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and says that he's number 3 on the ballot. January 31 will bring some. Yeah, sorry.
Number 3 on the ballot.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that'll be all for the papers, but I definitely will wrap with myjoyonline.com. I may take you to My Joy Online.
Today's 21st.
Yes, today's 21st, so we expect the set in Atamaklo as well.
Yeah, and again, 10 days more for the MPP to go to post.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. Well, top story on myjoyonline.com. U.S. judge demands proof of extradition as Ofori-Atta stays in ICE detention. By now, you know that the matter has been adjourned to April 17 to be heard. It will be on the table this morning for discussion, and Kojo will do justice. One more stories, please log on to myjoyonline.com. Kojo.
All right. Thank you very much, MFA. Well, let's come into the studio and welcome our guests for today. George AC is former communications director of the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO. He joins us in the studio this morning. George, good morning. Trust all is well.
By grace is good. It's always good and pleasurable to meet you, brother.
It takes us way back,
that's what the guy says, We've come far.
Oh, interesting. Good to reminisce about the good
days. Morning to Cape Coast and Cape Coast.
Exactly. All right. Okay, so let's start with this price floor policy that has become something a lot of people are discussing about. It started because the Star Oil had one of, the CEO came out to say that it proposed if MPA could do away with the price floor, then they could go below where they are now. But other people say, well, we need to maintain the price floor. I don't know what you make of it as a consumer.
Good morning to you, Kojo. Good morning to your production crew, our viewers. Good morning to the Elephant family. And the number 1 candidate on the ballots come 31st January.
Kennedy Ejapon.
The Honorable Ken Ohene Ejapon. All connected people, good morning. Be rest assured that victory is ours.
You remind me, once you mentioned Ken Ejapon,
yes.
Someone sent in a message. Once you mention him, let me read this quickly. It says, Brace, and he mentioned Dr. Alison Pabing, former Deputy Finance Minister, has been a key and committed member of the team, and his role in Ken's campaign has been truly pivotal. With the dedication and momentum we are witnessing, which of course you're also repeating this morning, we are confident that the party will give Ken the nod, ushering in a new era for the new patriotic party marked by renewed trust, discipline, and purpose.
Yes. PhD, patriotism, honesty.
Okay.
And discipline.
Okay.
that's our watchword.
Okay.
And Dr. Mpabe, we all know him, a very brilliant young guy. And we have Dr. K.K. Sapon, we have the Honorable Peter Amewu, Natoshi, Abdonse Asari, Stephen Amuastika, of course, and all the other names that you can mention. These are people who thought there's the need to back the leadership ambition of the Honorable Ken Ohene Ejapon for 2 main reasons. 1, to instill discipline in the MPP, and 2, to create opportunities for the Ghanaian people.
Okay.
Jobs.
All right.
That is the focus of our messaging, and it's resonated with the Ghanaian people and the delegates. Kojo, 31st, you see Ken declared the leader of the MPP.
Okay. Let's go to price floor.
Price floor. As you said, as a consumer, I would rather what Star Oil is saying. You see, it's a 2-way affair. Now, when there's a price floor, and you cannot go below that. Because these people are into this oil business for profit, right? To maximize profit. And so if you leave them to go anyhow, sometimes, the competition, some will try and go very low at the disadvantage of some others. And we know there's the issue of poor fuel qualities and co, which the MPA and co have been monitoring and ensuring that there's quality oil on the market. And so if that is part of the reasoning that the MPA is a bit skeptical, maybe we need to get into the details. But I think the consumer will benefit if the floor is taken away.
Maybe you can keep that. But if
the higher one, the lower one, you get it.
But will the MPA take off the floor and leave the ceiling?
You see, the ceiling, they will not take the ceiling off because it will make it very difficult for consumers. You get it? If some others decide, especially when the international, government sometimes subsidizes these products indirectly, even though we can say it's been a while that the subsidy has been implemented. But for the sake of the consumer, if you take off the ceiling and you leave everybody, okay, artificial shortage can be created by the operators in the market.
It so.
You get it. And it's a cabal. And so when they meet and they decide, let's create artificial shortage so we can have the price skyrocketing, then we are going to bear the brunt, the consumers, you get it, and the passengers and others. And so we need to be protected. Even though we have a deregulated market, you cannot, because of some of the social programs that our governments in Africa, especially, have been pursuing for the sake of the people, we need to let the ceiling be there so that we can cushion the consumer. Otherwise, the business people in the market...
But the floor should go.
The floor. Star Oil, that they've been giving GOIL stiff competition.
Oh, yes.
They've been giving GOIL stiff competition. And my brother, the managing director at GOIL, Edward Bauer. Good morning, bro. You get it. The Star Oil is doing well on the market. Competition is good. It makes the consumer be the ultimate beneficiary of whatever dividends there is from that competitive market. And so I say thumbs up to Star Oil, a private entity that is performing so well in the oil distribution market. Most times their prices are lower.
Yeah, but the Chamber for Bulk Oil Distributors Seaboard says you cannot do away with the price floor.
Yes.
Because there are a lot of benefits with it.
Yeah.
Must we just focus on what consumers would benefit, or benefit of consumers, to say, let us do away with the price floor, and go against what the Seaboard, for example, is saying, that, well, we need to keep it because it has its own advantage.
There ought to be a balance because people are operating in the oil market for profit, right? And so, as I said earlier, if you take away the floor, some can, bring the competition, the price so low that, it will make you also, or compel you to come. And you don't know what other things they're doing. You get it? Some people get their products from different sources, okay? And so maybe because they have some international agreement, they can bring the oil at a price that will still make them marginal profit, okay? They don't care. Some people say small profit, quick returns. You get it? And so then it puts the whole market into disarray, and people will not be attracted to be operating in the oil market again. And that will not be beneficial to the consumer, because if there's shortage, you can imagine what it will be like.
Yes, yesterday I heard that they all get it from same source. But let's bring in Duncan Amoah, who is the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum.
Because now we have sent you and others.
Yes. So petroleum consumers, and I'm sure that Duncan Amoah would be on the part of consumers, but he understands the sector well. I'm grateful to you, Mr. Amoah, for joining us here. Where do you stand on the debate as to whether we should scrap the price floor or we should maintain it, and why?
Well, good morning to you, and of course to the panel you have been there with you.
Good morning, Dante.
And again, good morning to your viewers. It's quite baffling that we are getting hoodwinked into thinking that setting a price barrier makes your problem, vanish, solve, cure the challenge. If that were the case, for almost 2 years since this, price barrier, which we will call the price floor, in this instance has been inexistent.
Mr. Amo, I don't know if you can reposition yourself so we hear you clearly what you're saying.
Okay. Most of the what I'm saying is this.
Yeah.
There's been almost 2 years since this price floor thing came up.
Okay.
That the NPA insisted they were setting a floor below which no OMC should sell. If that was a solution on its own to market disruption, I'm sure the problems would have corrected by now, but it's not. Okay. And for which reason the proponent will continue to shift, the goalpost anytime that discussion comes up. What is the price floor? Like you asked, you are just saying that I am setting a certain price threshold. Don't sell below that threshold. And for me as a consumer, that is worrying because I have explained variously that we all buy products from the market, okay? But we all don't sell products at the same time. And so whilst you and I may buy one tanker load today, you might be lucky to finish selling it in a week. It might take me up to a month to finish selling based on patronage, how much people patronize my forecourts. So take this scenario. You and I bought one tanker for $10 million, right? At the time we bought it, if you finished selling and needed to pay off the supplier or clean out that transaction, and you required, let's say, 12 Ghana cedi exchange to $1, you would have needed about 120 million Ghana cedi to offset that supply or that cargo that you got in there, that you bought from the BDC. Then you are unable to sell. Thanks to Go Board, thanks to the finance minister, the cedi appreciates to now trade at 10.4, 10.5. The 120 million Ghana you required initially, you no longer need 120 to offset the $10 million cargo. What you now require would have been about 105 million Ghana maximum, right? You haven't finished or cleared out your cargo or the stock. So instead of still hiking at the 120 million, recovery, you will be safe at 105 because the cedi is now even better placed for you to be able to recover your $10 million. I decide that, look, based on the numbers I am dealing with, I can be able to trade somewhere at less than 9 or 8.5 so that I can drive a lot of traffic and clean out the cargo to be able to pay the BDC I picked the product from.
Yeah.
Then we set a floor that says, no, you cannot be able to sell because based on the numbers we have for this window, nobody should be able to sell below, let's say, 9.5 or 9.8. Nobody should be able to. So don't cross 9.8, no matter the factors you have, no matter the numbers you have. And then the assumption is that, look, if you are able to deliver cheaper, it means that you necessarily must be doing the wrong thing or a bad thing or must be getting bad products from a bad source. To that argument or debate, we say then it's a regulatory failure, right, Samuel?
Yeah.
We then are shifting the goalpost to admit that people are getting bad products, and as a state or as regulator, we cannot do anything about it So we will not allow them to sell below a price threshold that we have set for them so that they don't disrupt the market. Is that an admission that we can't do anything about bad products? So for now, if you are selling below a threshold that we determine within the window, then as a matter of necessity, you must have done something bad for which you are able to get maybe products cheaper. I have explained. Maybe I got cargo 2 months ago. For lack of patronage, I have not been able to sell. The supplier is waiting for his money. If I went down a bit, right, 20%, 30%,
you could have cleared
maybe
it.
I'll be able to attract a little more patronage, clean out that business cycle, and pay the supplier. Then the MPA says, no, we will not allow you to go down. Meanwhile, mind you, Samuel, when the price goes down, the consumer benefit.
Yeah. But what do you make of the argument that the downstream sector is capital intensive, high risk and highly exposed to global price volatility and exchange rate fluctuations, making these simplistic comparisons and promises of sharp reductions potentially dangerous to the sector?
It is even the more reason you don't need a price floor. And I would repeat, price volatility would mean that I can enter a window, okay? So let's say I entered the 1st of February, right? You have set a price floor already for the window 1st of February to the 16th of February, right? There's volatility with even the exchange, right? So we enter into that window. The NPA has already predetermined the price floor. Don't sell below this level. I enter the window. International market plummets or decline sharply. The CD gain, instead of the now 10.5, 10.8, the CD is trading at 9, right?
Yeah.
BDCs are able to offer me much more competitive prices within the window, right?
Yeah.
Yet you have set a floor already at the start of the window. So what you are telling me to do to Ghanaian consumers is to ensure that I do not go below that window, although the fluctuations or volatilities dictate that I could have gone down. Whose interest are we serving? And again, I ask, if we didn't put a price floor, would anything go wrong or would anything be changed? Because mind you, we got into deregulation 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
More than 10 years ago. July 2015. We've entered 2026. Almost 11 years, right?
Yeah.
This whole price floor thing has come about within the last 1.5 years, getting on 2 years. Are we saying the market was that bad without the price floor thing coming up? And that we didn't guarantee suppliers, and that there were shortages, and that people were doing all the bad things. And once we brought the price floor thing, it's corrected the market. It can't correct anything. You are simply dictating to a market that should be liberalized or free. If price volatility dictates that as of today, BDCs can trade lower than the 5.6 that they have been trading all along, I, as an OMC, should be able to pass that benefit to the consumer instantly at the pumps without having to breach any law. But unfortunately, when you put a price law, you have set a law below which any OMC seller would have flouted the NPA's law. That is not correct. It's not right. Whose interest is the NPA serving at this point? The Ghanaian or some businesses that would need to be protected? In any case, Samuel, I have said this. When we did the numbers for this particular window, right, with the floor that the NPA set, right, you could do the 9.8. You could do 9.8 safely. You could do 9.9 safely. You could do 10.0 safely, right?
Yeah.
Some oil marketing companies are doing 11. Is the NPA aware? What happened to price ceiling? Some are doing 12. Is the NPA aware? So when it is overcharged, no problem. But when you are underpriced, there's a problem. Who are they serving?
But is the 12 above the ceiling?
There's no ceiling.
Okay.
Okay.
We are saying that overcharging is okay, but if somebody goes down on price, then there's a problem. They are disrupting the market.
Okay, let me get you well. You are saying that we have a price floor policy, but we don't have a price ceiling in the downstream sector?
And we are busy defending this. There's no ceiling, nothing. And we are defending this. Hiding behind such excuses, right, as, if we allow people to just sell at any price, they disrupt the market. No, as an OMC, you are not obliged to go down to somebody's, wicked price levels if they want to go down to what they call predatory prices, right? A lot of the bigger OMCs have stayed way above some of the smaller OMCs by way of prices, right? Nobody has collapsed the other, right? Yet we are now targeting people who would want to go down in prices for the benefit of the Ghanaian consumer. Is this fair? We can remove that price floor. You said it's a deregulated market. Government no longer would owe the industry any money by way of subsidy, right? So if the industry is able to come and say that I got my product maybe 3 months ago, I have not been able to clear out my stock, right? I still have enough stock. At this point, if I'm able to even do 9 cities, right, I will still be able to pay my supplier, clean out that transaction. Then you say, I have put a price floor. If you go and sell below that one, I will not agree. Who are you serving? Okay. I am not being simplistic, but think about it this way. If you introduce a price barrier, you are simply inconveniencing the consuming public because you are telling the market, look, it's like tomatoes, right? Somebody got tomatoes from, let's say, from an apple or tamale or something, right? And says that, look, I need to clean out this quickly. So I go to the market, trade for 5 cities. Then another person comes to say, look, no, if you do that, you are destroying or disrupting the tomato market because today is 20 cities. You should stay at 20 cities. Nothing less. Whose interest are you serving? The consumer would have been happy to pick his tomato that they can do whatever skills with today, right? And pay a little less, have their pockets a bit easy so that they can use half of that thing to pay for other services or other things. You are saying, no. If you go and sell it at 5 cities, you are disrupting the market. In a free market, these things are negative. It does not allow the market to evolve naturally, organically. It does not allow the market to compete favorably or fairly. If somebody wants to do 12 or 11 and another wants to do 9, you are telling the one who wants to do 9 that, you can't do 9, do about 10 or 9.8. What is the logic here?
Okay. Do stay with me. Let me bring in the MP for Karachi East, Nelson Kofi Jabbar, and also Dr. Kwame Asante. He is a political scientist for the University of Ghana. He is joining us via Zoom. But let me start with you, Nelson Kofi Jabbar. So where do you also stand? You're a consumer. The price floor, whether it should go or it should be maintained. Where do you stand?
Good morning, Kojo.
Morning.
And thank you very much. First of all, thank you for the opportunity. And, the good people of Karachi East extends their greetings this morning to you.
Okay.
As they watch us live.
Is this the first time we're meeting this year?
This is the first time we're meeting.
Okay, so Happy New Year then.
Happy New Year.
Karachi East is Dambai, right?
Dambai, OT regional capital.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I started schooling in Kitty Karachi.
Oh, wow. Great. That's good. That's good.
Okay.
Going back to your question,
yeah.
When I came, my attention was very deep on it. I was just looking at
Okay, so there is a debate now. It was started by the CEO of Star Oil, who proposed that what if the NPA removes the price floor policy, such that they, as an OMC, can decide to price their fuel very low during the night to help the night market. You can buy fuel at, say, 9.5, 9.4, whatever, just to help the night market. And then other people say, you cannot do that because there will be unfair pricing. So the price floor is to stabilize the market, the pricing window, or the pricing that OMCs do. And I'm asking, as a consumer, as a rep of your people, where do you stand on that debate? Whether or not we should maintain the price floor or we should take it off?
I stand on the grounds that we should maintain the price floor.
Okay.
Because, like the CEO mentioned, it's certainly going to have an advantage for most, even the OMCs and the BDCs and the general consuming public.
Hey, me, I'm not for maintaining price floor. If I can get fuel to buy at 9 cedis in the night, I'll go for that one. The general public, I'm not part of those who say that maintain the price floor.
If you can get fuel to buy at 9 cedis.
Yes, I'll buy it.
At 9, you go for that one.
Yes.
But do you know it has an effect on your economy?
Which effect?
You don't know.
Which effect?
It's going to have effect.
Well, how?
How is that? As you are looking at that window where you can get it that cheap, but me, you agree that that is not the approved window for the season at the time you are buying it. So it's like you are buying something as a short change.
How?
Yes.
But you are for 24-hour economy.
Yes.
Why would you want to accept such a policy to aid the night shift? That if I am working in the night, let's say I'm a driver, I get to get fuel at a cheaper price to buy. It means that I'll spend less on fuel and save more. If you are taxing me on my income, I'll pay much more in income tax, not so.
What it means is that you want the product to be there at a uniform price at all times.
It can't be. Now, it is not uniform. It's not uniform.
How?
Star Oil is, I have to watch. But if, for example, Star Oil is selling at 9.9, another OMC is selling at 10.1, this is not uniform. So it's competition. That's why they did the deregulation. So you and I, if I have an OMC and you have one, I can decide to sell my 0.5 off than what you're selling, just to drive traffic to my station. That's the essence of deregulation. And now the players, some are proposing, and it's the consuming public have held on to it, that, well, if an OMC can go below the price window, I think the window is what? It's 9.8 or so now.
9.9.
9.9.
It's 9.9.
But an OMC says I can go as low as 9.5. Allow it. We, the public, we want that. In the night, we'll buy. If I close work at, say, 11 p.m. and I'm going, I can branch by that station and buy 9.5. I save a lot. That's why I'm asking, where do you stand?
So you think that if an OMC can come lower,
yes,
I mean, to your level, to your taste, regardless of what effects it has on other
What
others.
is the effect? Point it out to me.
The effects I see, as I was telling you, is that probably depending on how that OMC gets its supply, okay? So if it's doing that, a kind of killing or having effect on other industries, that will progress or grow steadily with this OMC. That is my argument. I agree it's competition, but it should be a fair competition. It should be it shouldn't be something that is tilted toward creating undue monopoly for a particular OMC. And to you, this is where, you tilt towards.
But do you know there's a rice that sells us at more than 200 cedis per 5 kg? There are others that sell for around 60 cedis per 5 kg.
Yes.
But people are buying the 200 cedis. Do you know there's a rice like that?
Yes.
If it's 200, some 60, but some go and still buy the 200. Why are they? That is the person's preference. Everyone has a reason why they buy. So if you are doing 9.5, another person is doing 10, and I want to still buy the 10, I'll go and buy the 10.
We are looking at the price disparity it will create in the industry. With so doing, you see, you'll be back to smuggling and other things.
Really?
Yes.
Smuggling of the fuel?
Yes. You'll be back to it.
Can you smuggle fuel in a tanker? Can it go outside of Ghana without we knowing? Really? How would you do that? Over the seas or on the road?
Look, whenever fuel prices go low to an extent, go ask the borders the kind of dangers they face with people smuggling fuel outside the borders of Ghana for their own economic gains. You may be thinking you are doing, something good for the country before you realize you are promoting what you don't like in the economic sense. So when the price is so much reduced based on your argument, based on your taste, based on your wish, these are the resultant effects you get on the economy.
Yeah, but if there will be smuggling, isn't that why we have the the customs to try and prevent smuggling? If we say there will be smuggling and we cannot control it, then why do we pay those people to be on the border towns to control smuggling? Let me bring him.
I don't know if I can make more based on what Duncan Amoah said.
Because I was going to bring him to react to this, but I'll bring him. Okay, make your point. I'll bring him to
it's good. To protect the industry, I think Honorable has brought a very important one, which is the smuggling aspect. It goes on. And once the price is lower across the border, people are tempted to
smuggle it out of the country.
It happens Cote d'Ivoire and then Ghana, cocoa pricing and all that. And so that is one. Two, I think that setting the price floor, I admitted I would have preferred that taking off so that we can go free in regulated market. But Duncan Amoah brought the issue of exchange rate volatilities. You get it? Good. So maybe the rate is good now. You got it and you stored it. Then there's an upward fluctuation. What happens?
You take it out.
You get it? No, because he spoke about the reserves he had. So once you bring it down, the price floor policy is to protect the operators in the industry.
Exactly.
So that there'll be fuel availability. You get it? At, yes, competitive price within that range. So that tomorrow, Kojo, you will not drive to a point and they say there's no fuel because the dollar has spiraled and then we are not able to have enough to go and buy because we reduce our price such that we couldn't raise enough money at this short time. Okay? It's a 2-week window. So once it is done and you are not able to raise the needed money, how do you go? And the international market also fluctuates and it goes up. What happens to us? Okay, so availability of product, I believe, is one of the considerations for that. And it's in the margin. When you quoted 9.9, 10.1, they are all within. And in that industry, 1 pesewa is huge.
Yeah.
Depending on the volumes that you are buying, you get it. And so you can still make marginal or good profit if you operate within those.
But how do you answer
the benefit of the consumers?
How do you answer the question he asked?
Yes.
That you have a price floor, but you don't have a ceiling.
Yes, that was worrying.
Initially,
we were under the assumption that there's a ceiling. But there's no ceiling. But it can take care of itself because of the competitive environment. If you move too high, people may not patronize you. If you move, but as you even said, Goil and Shell, their price is out of the, it's not.
No. That's Shell and Total. Goil is with. Goil is chasing.
Okay, so Shell and Total, right? Okay, you see, their price is in their own thing because I believe because of their brand. And the quality maybe they've sold to the Ghanaian people or the consuming
So remove the
so
price
people
floor.
Believe, but the price floor, as he said, in fact, Honorable's point is the solid one. Avoid smuggling.
Okay.
Otherwise, it happens.
Okay.
In tanks, not gallons.
Okay. But if it does and we're not able to deal with it, then we don't have an efficient.
Unapproved. So many.
Unapproved, and they can't smuggle. Tanks can go there. Anyway, let me bring in Dr. Asante. After I'll bring Duncan to handle all of that.
Yeah.
Doc, I'm grateful to you for joining us. I don't know what you do make of this argument or debate, if you call it, whether or not price floors should go or be maintained.
It's a complex one, because if you look at each of them, they have their own pros and cons and all that. And if you look at it against the backdrop that you want to do this 24-hour economy, you want to improve that in the night, it's a whole lot. Yeah. It's a whole lot because in the night, yes, as you did say, you want to shop around and see where you can get fuel and buy at a cheaper price and all that. That will, improve productivity and enhance that program, in the night. Daytime, there is a high price people buy. It has its own implications for business and the rest of them. But a careful balance of the two, I'm sure, should be able to give us something meaningful to support the 24-hour economy. Don't forget that, I see it as some sort of incentive for those who want to operate in the evening or in the night. And if that is the case, they should be able to weigh it heavily against those who operate in the day, so as not to, discourage people from helping in production within the day and all that. Then it needs a fine-tuning and balance, and then the experts should be able to give us a proper guide in this regard. The issue of smuggling, I am not, we know smuggling is as old as this republic, but that is why you did say we have institutions that are responsible to man the frontiers of our country. If they cannot do this, then I'm afraid, because there are a lot of things that we bring to this country or we sell to our people that also get outside the country. Take, for instance, the issue of even fertilizer. And if our security apparatus cannot handle this, then we have a difficulty, because fertilizer alone is not only used for agri purposes. There are other purposes which, for the purpose of this discussion and for national security issues, I will not discuss them. But I'm telling you, fertilizer is not an ordinary commodity. So that is why the state must be up and doing and do what they are supposed to do, so as to make sure that we keep our borders tight and all that. I know we have porous borders, but that doesn't give us the opportunity to let go easily things that we want to use and build the economy from within.
All right, Duncan Amo, let me bring you in and ask of what you do make of the argument by Honorable Nelson Kofi Jabab that if we don't take care and we take away price floors, it could lead to smuggling of the product.
Samuel, let me say good morning to my honorable and my friend, of course, to Dr. Asante and everybody. In a deregulated market, right, where government doesn't pay a peswa for subsidy, there's nothing called smuggling. In fact, it will rather be a better thing for Ghana if they are dragging products across the borders, minding the fact that on every liter you are paying 4 Ghana city 27 pesos. So if other countries decide to come and take your product and will pay the taxes, right? If at present Ghana consumes about 420 million liters, and the neighboring countries decide to come and take another 400 million liters, it is only revenue for government.
No, but would they pay when the products are being smuggled?
No, you can only smuggle in a deregulated market after having paid the taxes. Okay. But you need to load from the depot. The depot would have all your taxes slapped on the product already. So if you take the product and instead of selling in Ghana, you say it's cheaper in Ghana, so you are taking it to Togo to go and sell, or Cote d'Ivoire or anywhere to go and sell. The government of Ghana would have taken its taxes. And so we don't lose at all.
But what about fuel shortages?
Only becomes pervasive or a problem where government subsidy applies to a product, especially for fertilizer, like we said. The government will subsidize for farmers to be able to get it cheaper. And so when you smuggle, the more you smuggle, the more the government loses, because the government is paying the differential. Unfortunately, on fuel, there is no single subsidy. Now, It is full price deregulated. So 1 liter you pick out from here, if you take it to Togo, it will come with all the taxes that you would have picked from the depot. And so that argument does not even arise at all for smuggling. There can't be smuggling when the government doesn't control anything called prices or doesn't pay subsidies for volumes. In the early 90s, the early 2000s, when we were controlling, before we went into the full price deregulation, and government was paying what we call legacy debt. You remember the BDC debt and all of them. There was going to be a big problem for smuggling, because then if you take 1 tanker out and government is paying 2 cedi per liter on each, that would have been government money gone. But now it is full cost recovery plus taxes. So if you like, you take it away and pay the taxes to government. Government gets richer. So in a deregulated market for petroleum, I'm afraid smuggling does not even happen at all. But you see, they have managed to hoodwink all of us into believing that the price floor is there to serve or solve a problem. And I have intimated that it's been there for almost 2 years now. The very problems, if you ask the MPA today to enumerate that it should solve, they all exist as of today. Yet the only thing it is doing is stopping the market from giving the consumer far lower prices when they can. The argument I heard yesterday again from the authority is that why are people not selling on the floors that they have decided already? You are a regulator. You have put a floor. It's a law, right? If somebody comes to the floor or goes below it, you are penalizing or sanctioning them. Remove it so that they can play, right? Like you said, some of the companies have decided to sell at 11, even at the time others are doing 9. People are still buying from them, like the rice scenario you created. Somebody will still want to go and patronize another OMC because they think that, oh, this is their favorite OMC or it's the OMC they have used for 10 years, right? So the price differential for those people will not mean much. But for others who are price sensitive, do not put a price floor or price barrier to stop some of these OMCs from giving these consumers much lower prices when they can. When they can. It's not a matter of math. When the OMC told we can, I can go down further. You have gone to put a barrier there to say don't go down below this threshold because you control the market. But those who go above the threshold, they don't collapse the market. That's the logic. It's a bad one for that matter.
But what about the argument? What about the argument that this could lead to fuel shortages in Ghana? Now, if they are smuggling, it could lead to shortages.
You see, Samuel, I told you before, we have done the price deregulation for, this is the 11th year, right?
Yes.
This price floor issue came in less than a year and a half ago, right?
Okay.
So, before a year and a half, were we dealing with shortages in an open market where you have huge suppliers, Vitol, Glencore, BP, all the major world players here? We're not talking of shortages, though. When you need to make an excuse for a bad policy, you will start creating a panic situation that is, oh, if somebody comes to sell at 9, then there will be short. How does me selling at 9 create a shortage when the person selling at 11 has product? When the person selling at 10 has product? And when me selling at 9, I'm not complaining. Initially, listen, this argument about the price floor, check the records, your own records at Multimedia. We objected to this when it was brought in 2024, right? Completely. The NPA stuck to its defenses. And so we were not surprised when we woke up to find some of the industry players now saying, look, you need to take that off so that we can freely deliver efficient prices to the market. And again, they have taken that individual and the OMC to the cleaners, as though he's saying something we have not said before. We've been saying this all along, that a price floor is simply a barrier to efficient prices. Somebody can decide within a window that, look, you have set 9.8. Based on my numbers I have, based on my stock or inventory, I can be able to do 9.5. I don't need to come back to you, the NPA, to remove the floor. When I can simply ask my consumers, look, after 6 p.m. or 10 p.m., I am giving you 9.4, right? I should be able to freely decide my numbers, right? Based on my in-house fundamentals, because if I deliver 9.4 and I'm able to do 1 million liters, maybe I'm getting 10 pesos on the 9.4. It's okay for me. Somebody wants to get 1 cedi, right, for which he's doing 10.4 or 11. That's their problem. Leave me. I am okay with the 10 pesos profit. It's okay. Then you say, don't go. If you go below the 9.8, you have violated. Why do you put a barrier? Meanwhile, there's no barrier upward. Those trading at 11, 12, 13, there's no barrier. Who are you protecting?
Okay.
Let's get the difference. The man is not saying anything new. We've been saying this all the while. The NPA has hoodwinked all of us into believing if there's no floor, there will be shortage. There was no floor in 2023. There was no floor 2022. There was no floor 2020. 2016, there was no floor. No shortage.
Okay.
That argument falls flat on its face. And again, there cannot be what I earlier described as people shipping products out, because everything you take out from the depot today, you are paying
taxes on them.
If you want, go and take one cargo load and ship it out to Togo. You are still going to pay taxes to Ghana. So Ghana gets richer. It's no problem. We can even open the borders for them. Ghana gets richer.
Okay. Educate me on this. Do the OMCs get their fuel from a single source or multiple of sources?
No. Again, no.
Okay.
No. I mentioned the traders that we have, the international oil traders, IOTs, right?
Yeah.
There are many of them. Even the terms and conditions under which the OMCs buy their products, they vary. Some will go for cash, right? I come to you, Samuel, and I say I need about 2-3 million liters. You ask me first question, credit or cash? You would want to be able to determine the price you give to me, because if it is credit, it means you are going to hold my money or capital or trading principal for some time, right?
Yeah.
So you pay a little more. If I come with cash, that I take the product today, I give you your money, you can exchange to the current prevailing rate and pay off the supplier. You are better off. So when I come with cash, you give me a favorable trade term. And mind you, we all don't buy from the same trader. We all don't buy from the same BDC. Even between the BDCs and the refineries, there are price differences or differentials. So it is not the correct argument to say that we all buy from the same source. So, and again, I have indicated that even if we bought the same source, we all don't sell at the same rate, right? So you may have exhausted your 1 million liters you bought last month. I may still have about 600,000 liters sitting in my tank. It's not gone. The supplier is waiting for his money. I have gone to buy on credit. If I do my numbers and I'm able to do 9.5, I can even break even and pay the supplier. I'm okay. Than to hold that debt in my books. Yet a law or a barrier says, look, you can't go to 9.5. We have determined for this window it's 9.8. So even when 9.5 is able to make you break even and clear out that transaction, no, don't go to 9.5. Stay at 9.8. And the argument again is that it will prevent the illegal products from coming onto the market. If you want to stop the illegal products, you know where they are coming from. Go and stop them. It's simple. You don't need a price barrier. It's difficult to even understand how we are mixing all these things up somewhere. Really.
Yeah, but Duncan.
I'm sure you know why I asked that question, because I saw an argument that we all pick from the same source. The difference is in how we mix the fuel. But George has something to read.
I asked the purpose for the price floor, and this is the response I got.
Where did you get which response?
That's Google, from Google.
Okay.
It says Ghana's petroleum price floor aims to stabilize the market by preventing predatory pricing, protecting smaller oil marketing companies, that's why I want him to speak to that, from collapse, ensuring supply continuity and promoting competition based on service efficiency, not just unsustainable price wars that lead to monopolies and future price hikes for consumers. It acts as a minimum price benchmark to maintain fair competition, especially in a capital-intensive and volatile.
But hasn't he answered it when he says there was no price floor in 2019, 2020?
Yes.
And we didn't see this thing.
Engendered the price.
MPA says some stations were unprofitable.
Yes.
And they say to prevent unhealthy price competition.
Yes.
That's it. Anyway, Duncan, so that's a question, George. George wants education on that.
Yes.
So let me take it this way.
Yes, thank you.
Too much grammar for nothing, honestly. Too much grammar for nothing. What is unhealthy competition? The Star Oil gentleman who has raised the price floor situation again was a minor OMC.
Yeah.
If you recall, he wasn't the most dominant. He was a minor.
Yeah.
In fact, when you were listing the top 5, he was not in there. He was able to get Ghanaians to buy into efficient pricing, right? For most of the times we published prices, his prices were among the lowest, right? He did some social media education. People went to test his products. I have not come across somebody coming now to say that his products are bad because he's delivering lower prices. Initially, we were even afraid that he will collapse. Today, he is the most dominant. Right? Then you come and put a price barrier and say that you are protecting the smaller OMC. He used to be a smaller OMC. He's telling you to remove the floor. So we are just writing grammar, aim to confuse the people. We are simply saying that, look, some OMCs are not profitable. We need to protect them so that they become profitable. At whose expense? The consumer's expense? Come on, they should give us a break. This is not washing. They just would come on all the big grammar. We need to sustain something. The market never collapsed before 2024, and it will never collapse. Ghana's market has been very resilient. The last time we came close to anything like shortage was in 2014. And that was because at the time, the BDCs were owed a legacy debt, if you recall. The government was owing them so heavily because of subsidies. And the government had not made good on paying for the subsidies. So they said they won't sell. But after that, there's not been this talk of shortage anywhere, for which the NPA is hoodwinking all of us to believe if we don't put a price barrier or a price floor thing, then there will be shortage. I'm afraid. Before 2024, Samuel, you've been in the media for so long. When did you report? They are just hoodwinking all of us into accepting a very bad policy that does not protect the consumer, but that is also eliciting a certain thinking that if we don't put it there, then there will be problem. There was no problem. There's never been any problem. They are creating that in their minds, honestly.
Okay.
The gentleman says, leave me to price, right? I may be able to go below it. How is this difficult? Then we all take to denigrating, insulting, casting aspersions here and there on him that he is seeking to collapse others. He was a minor OMC. Let the others also take advantage of the strategy he adopted to come to the top. Maybe the minor ones will even come better than he has done.
Okay. All right.
Samuel, how difficult is this?
It shouldn't be difficult.
We will benefit.
Exactly. As for consumers, Mr. Jabab, having listened to Duncan's explanation, I still where you are that because he says Ghana will not suffer in any way. Government will get the taxes. As soon as you move it out of the depot, you have to pay taxes on the fuel.
I've listened to his explanation, all right. But before I came, I had my opinion.
So you are still with
I'm
your
still
opinion?
with my opinion.
Okay, that we should maintain the price floor.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Mr. Acquah, I'm grateful to you for joining us on this discussion.
Samuel, I'm grateful and thank you for having me.
Okay.
The truth is that you don't expect everybody to believe or accept one position or the other. It's healthy that in a democracy people think differently.
Yeah.
But let's come to the truth. Before 2024, the picture they paint for which they need to put a price barrier didn't even exist. I have been in this space for years, and it doesn't exist. The issues they seek to correct with the price law has not been corrected almost a year and a half or 2 years after introducing the thing. So if there's a problem, please go back and deal with the problem systematically so that you don't hide behind a certain trade barrier or a price barrier to say that, oh, I've introduced this and this will cure this. It's just like somebody having malaria and you thinking that just giving the person paracetamol because he has fever conditions, right, solves malaria. The underlying causes may be far deeper. The symptoms may not reflect exactly what the problem is. If you want to solve the problem really of a disrupted market, you will know the tool to deploy and not just a trade barrier or a price war. So the OMCs are talking. Some still think the barrier protects them. It's okay, no problem, no qualms. But for those who believe that they can do better without you putting them in a tight hole or in a box and saying that sell it at this rate or anything below it, you are going foul against the law, they are saying remove it. It's not difficult to do. They can go ahead. If they want to maintain it, it's also their prerogative. But at the end of the day, the consumer is the one that suffers because some OMCs could have given us a lot more in our pockets than what the price law is currently doing.
Okay, all right. I'm grateful to you. Duncan Amoah is Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC. He joined us on that particular discussion. This is coming from Blueprint in Esikado in the Western region. He says, KB, the fuel prices at the pumps are not the same, as you rightly stated, and that's the essence of deregulation in a perfect competitive market. In Kens, trust me, we shall buy fuel at 5 cedis. Greetings to our next flag bearer, Kennedy Ohene A. Japan. Okay, Blueprint found a way to wrap that in. This one is happy. Anyway, let's move on and talk about something else. Yesterday, 20th of January, Ghana was expecting the appearance of Ken Ofori-Atta at an immigration court in the United States of America. Fortunately, as the whites do it, they made it open, so anyone who had the case number could join in and watch what was happening. So a lot of us were joined in and watched the proceedings in that particular case. So there you have it on your screen. You see Ken Ofori-Atta as you know, quiet as he's always been, in his nose mask, taking his seat in that part, because this was a virtual, you know, and a lot of Ghanaians were there. You can see them; they were all watching what was happening. Now, the case has been adjourned to 27th of April, just because the court wants to get all the facts on this particular matter. Let me start from you, Honorable Jabab, and ask whether or not what happened yesterday was what you expected. I mean, all of us had our expectations of how the case would go. Was what happened what you expected as a Ghanaian?
To me, it's not what I was expecting.
Okay.
And to a very large extent, I'm not happy as a Ghanaian.
Why? What were you expecting that because you didn't get it, you're not happy, makes you unhappy?
Kwado, to the extent that it even got to a point where the former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, will appear before IC court in detention and all this brouhaha. I'm kind of that's why I'm not happy. You are asking me why I'm not happy. I understand it.
Yeah, because you said you didn't meet what you were expecting. What were you expecting?
I'm coming. Let me informally land. Ken Ofori-Atta, as you all know, is a former finance minister who we knew very well believed in Ghana. At a point, his own ministers, his own MPs thought that Ken Ofori-Atta, you were not well. You were not feeling well. Therefore, resign. Ken must go. If you remember that popular slogan in Parliament. You said no. You were well. This is the man all the time coming to Parliament, quoting the Bible quotations and here and there, to the extent that some even parliamentarians had to learn Bible from him. Today they can quote Bible explicitly, very well. And now, Ghanaians unanimously decided that it was time for your government and you yourself to go and rest.
It wasn't unanimous.
I'm saying this based on the election results, 2024.
But it wasn't unanimous.
Well,
majority of Ghanaians.
Well, let me say majority of Ghanaians, as you want me to put it, that's your way.
Because unanimous means that nobody disagreed.
Thank you, I agree. Thank you for correction.
It's not correction.
No, I feel like using unanimous because of the stance of...
Okay, use overwhelming. Use overwhelming.
Overwhelmingly. Give me the word. Overwhelmingly. Decided to say, go and rest. Now, this very man is sick. No one can tell when sickness will strike. Is that not it? But now, what is making me confused is that now we can even see that your visa status has been revoked. Instead of you coming down quietly to Ghana, your country, where you wanted to work and die for, this is the time you have decided to go for top-notch lawyers defending against the whole U.S. legal system.
Won't you do anything to protect your health?
You will do anything to protect your health. What I'm saying is that this is rather a tussle done in a peaceful and a more honorable manner. Just come home. Just come home. It's just ordinary question that they may ask you.
So do it virtually.
This is the country where you felt that you wanted to work for. Even when some people thought you were sick, you said you were not going anywhere, you were not sick. You were fit. And now that your visa status is revoked and you are in somebody's land, they want you to come. Why should it become a tussle? Why should this become a tussle? To the extent that a man of your caliber has to go through all this. This is where I am disappointed. This is where I feel very bad. I don't think it should have gotten to an extent when the whole Ofori-Atta should appear before ICE court defending whether he should be deported, he should not be deported. Hey, come on.
Do you know why I asked you?
Come on. This is far below my expectation.
But that's why I asked you if you won't do anything for your health. Because if the man feels my chances of survival are high in sitting close to George, and you want me to go and sit close to Osei Acquah, I'll do everything I can to sit close to George. Not so. It was why I asked you whether if you won't do anything or everything for your health. He says he's in there because of his health.
This is in the ordinary example you are giving.
Okay.
But this is an issue of international extent.
Okay.
Let me put it that way. Mind you, you are on foreign land, you are on somebody's land.
Yeah.
The person says that what allows you to stay here is your visa. That visa status has been revoked. So where lies that your wish, your confidence to stay by dock instead of staying by me? You had better come to me, who is your own. I am your brother, I am your kinsman, come to me, than wanting to stay with dog who is not related to you in any way. But it is your wish.
My kinsman doesn't have what it takes to save me when my situation deteriorates.
You were here at that point in time. You visit there anytime because of all the visa you have. Now that status, that power, what allowed you to stay there has been revoked. So you are there illegally now, which is more dangerous than you coming honorably and going honorably.
He's applied for his stay to be made permanent.
Yes,
that's a process.
I'm not arguing that. I feel that he will be more comfortable, and yes, and it will be more honorably than getting to this stage.
Okay, all right. Let me bring in Frank Davis. He's a member of Ken Ofori-Atta's legal team and find out more from him in terms of what happened yesterday. Frank Davis, I'm grateful to you, sir, for joining us here. What's your own reading of what happened yesterday, and what does it mean to this case after the case was adjourned to 27th of April?
Good morning to your cherished viewers and esteemed listeners. We also snippets of what happened yesterday until the link was disabled. I had said before that the proceedings...
Mr. Davis, if you can speak up a bit for me, I would appreciate it so we can hear you clearly.
Yeah, I'm tired, so bear with me. I'm saying that we all witnessed up to a point yesterday what was transpiring in the immigration courtroom until the link was disabled.
Yeah.
And I had said before, I think to you, and I indicated clearly what yesterday's proceedings were about. It was a notice to appear, NTA hearing. And that is on the back of 10 having been picked up by ICE and placed in the detention facility, ostensibly for the reasons that he had overstayed his visa period in the United States. I had also communicated to you that before he was picked up, he had put in a petition or an application for an adjustment of his immigration status.
Yeah.
At that point, once you have been lawfully picked up, you have to be given a hearing in the immigration court. And that was what happened yesterday. And we all have at least gotten an indication that Judge David Gaddy adjourned the proceedings to the 27th of April. What happened yesterday was just simple. Ken, as it were, through his lawyers, had to give reason why he should continue to remain in the United States, or vice versa, why he should not be deported, because people are saying he has been classified as illegal alien. So that was what happened. And the matter stands again to the 27th of April. But something also happened yesterday, maybe which was not put in the public domain. There was a bond posting, a bond application hearing. A bond posting or bond application hearing is the United States legal panel. In our jurisdiction or jurisprudence here, we say bail application. Now, he posted the bond, and just as the court was about to make a determination, our government authorities raised an objection that there was an extradition proceeding pending. Now, proof immediately could not be provided to the presiding judge as to the pendency of the extradition proceeding. On that score, the judge adjourned the proceedings for the bond posting to the 19th of February. Our authorities have 30 working days to provide ample proof of extradition proceedings to the judge, failing which the judge will make a determination or a decision one way or the other to release Ken from detention custody and admit him to his freedom temporarily. Now, in considering all this, there are three factors which influence the decision. Whether or not Ken is going to be a flight risk after his removal from detention, whether he's going to pose a danger to the community, or whether he's able, ready, prepared, and willing to post the bond in the amount specified. So that is where we are. 30 working days, failing which the bail application would the bond posting or bail application be considered. So that request was temporarily denied. The main hearing, the main ICE hearing, which commenced yesterday, stands again to the 27th of April.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it means that there are two things. 19th February for the bond application hearing to be heard. Okay.
And then 27th of April for the continuation of the NTA hearing.
Okay. Okay. All right. I guess he's well this morning after what happened in court yesterday.
Oh, at least until the link was disabled, you saw Kenny. I keep on telling you that the good Lord Almighty God continues to keep and preserve all of us, including you, Ken, and I. So he's well. He's well. He's well. No matter what the circumstances he found himself in. You know, isn't it, right? He's well.
What was the link being pulled out at the request of the lawyers of Ken?
Let me throw this education into the public domain before it is lost on all of us.
Yeah.
I think I either spoke to you or Faustina, one of you, that there are two scenarios. It's either a public hearing, a private hearing, or what we also call a closed hearing. So it's up to the judge to make that determination. Yes, the Kenneth lawyers put an application for a private hearing because they were believing the position that there were certain sensitive matters that were not supposed to be in the domain. Be that as it may, there is an immigration court practice manual which guides everyone who has served the link yesterday. All right? And there is a veritable caveat in that practice manual that the proceedings in the courtroom should not be subjected to any video, photographic, electronic, or other similar devices for the purposes of transmission or circulation of the proceedings in court. This caveat is meant to guard courtroom decorum. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And anyone who attempts to go to the link, in legal parlance, it's called the lobby. Those who were granted up were bound by the courtroom practice manual to observe the proceedings and not to attempt to circulate them through viral attention. That act was egregiously abused last month. And that might have also occasioned the disabling of the list. Now, this practice manual is to guide all those who have access to the proceedings and to attempt to circulate or transmit them was going to compromise courtroom proceedings and decorum and undermine the very integrity of the administrative process. Because in all of it, the paramount privacy, or as Americans would say, the privacy and interest of the accused person of interest or suspect was at play. So if that also influenced the disabling, I'm unable to say it, but I'm saying that this is what guides what happened yesterday. But yesterday, there was a status of respect, a semblance of journalistic jingoism, where every media outlet was trying to acknowledge one another as to who was going to transmit or circulate the proceedings first. This was so tenable. So I would urge that we also offer ourselves some little education when we get involved with these matters. I must say that in this jurisdiction, in Ghana, you are permitted or allowed as a country to go to court and view proceedings. You know that, for example, you don't know.
Unless it is allowed.
You are not allowed to video the proceedings in court, because immediately you do that, you put yourself in contempt of the court proceedings, and the judge can order your removal from the court or have you put himself temporarily. So what is new about it? When you go to court, even though it's a public hearing, the right, liberty, and freedom of the accused person at all material times is another protection of it. So you don't do anything to jeopardize the proceedings, because what you might say or what you might say as to what is happening in court will not be an exact reflection of what has transpired, because legal language is different from ordinary language.
Okay.
So I think going forward, we should all be guided that there is an immigration courtroom practice manual. We should all assess it, read, and know our obligations when we assess anything.
Okay. So just one clarification. When the officials of the government of Ghana raised objection to the bail hearing because of the pendency of the extradition notice, they didn't come to court with that particular notice to show to the judge?
I've just said to you, in fine legal language, that at that point in time, they could not supply ample proof.
I ask this because we know that this extradition notice has been around for quite some time. So if they were going to court to object that, I'm wondering why they didn't carry the evidence to prove that indeed that exists.
Samuel, could you wait?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's my name.
Yeah?
Yes.
You can call the Honorable Attorney.
Okay.
I have told you that as last night, the feedback I have from our counterpart lawyer, that there was no sufficient proof of that request.
Okay.
When that objection was raised, so the judge has granted the government authorities, as he should do, 30 working days to bring ample proof of the extradition request or proceed. Based upon that, the matter to the judge, that aspect of the bill posting bond or the bond application stood again to the 19th of February, which is exactly 30 working days as of fine. So let us all keep our fingers crossed and wait for the 19th February barrier.
Okay.
When that barrier is crossed, we'll know whether Ken will be released on bail or.
I'm grateful to you for joining us this morning. Frank Davis is a member of the Ofori-Atta's legal team there. Well, let me come to you, George.
Yeah. I think the lawyer is giving us the details of what transpired. And I think the due process is being followed. He had his day in court on the matters of the deportation, not the extradition. Sometimes when people thought that once the deportation hearing is done and the decision arrived at the ICE court, then he's being bundled into this thing and brought to Ghana. No, there's the argument. I thought I wanted to whisper it to you, so you asked the lawyer that he's got he has a multiple visa status. What it means is that he can go to UK or Guyana in the unlikely event, I say unlikely event, that he's asked to go back. This thing is not renewed, visa status is not renewed, or permanent stay application is not granted. He can decide that, okay, I want to be in the UK or to Guyana or wherever, once he's got a visa status valid. So it's another thing I thought the lawyer, if we had that. So it's not a matter, of course, that he'll be emplaned to Ghana.
Okay.
You get it. That is another angle that we need. But all in all, I think, you see, he's a respected international figure, former finance minister of Ghana. I would rather, for the sake of my political party and he had on his own volition come to Ghana, because after rendering service to the nation, there's accountability. You get it. All these fasts may not be grounded in evidence or law and but it's proper you come and then we go through the process, because from the little I know about these SML, because we had briefing as a member of the then government communication, we had briefing, and I would be surprised if something untoward happened in these SML processes, okay? And then some are also making the issue of the DDP and others, okay? Whatever it is, he comes to answer. But I know why, and I think I heard Gabi has also made a comment on that. Because I had said earlier on another platform that my understanding of Honorable Ken's worry is the way he might be mishandled.
Yeah.
You can look at what Wontumi went through. And Ken, I stand to be corrected, but from the last time he went to U.S. for medical and if you take him through some of the things Wontumi went through, I'm afraid what may happen. You get it? It's been my worry, and what Paul Adumochi and others went through, the Rambo style and all that. You get it? So it's something that is not reassuring to him that he will be safer home if he were to come back. You get it? Our Honorable had said, be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. He should come back home. You get it? But these are the possible ramifications if he were to decide on his own to come back home. The extradition processes is going on. Doya has also told us about the board process, hearing and other things. And adjourned to 19th. I think I was going to ask you, but I was happy you pushed that. Is he going to be detained till 26th of April, 27th of April, when you have his day again? But now he's clarified that, and then.
So it means that, but for the government officials raising objection,
he would have.
He could possibly
have been granted
the
bail that he was requesting, and his lawyers. Look. And you know another thing, people may discard that, but you know that he has investment in the United States as well. You know, he's a Yale trained. He's schooled there. He's got investments there. And so I was surprised that a person of his stature is having difficulty renewing his. But, you know, the revocation is a Trump policy. You get it? Over 100,000 people, I understand, affected by this revocation of visa and because of the American interest policy that Trump is pursuing. You get it? And so these are things that, unfortunately, his issue is being convoluted by these extradition things that the government of Ghana is also pursuing against him. I want him to be safe. And it should be reassuring to him as a citizen of Ghana and a bona fide member of the New Patriotic Party to, you know, want to come back home and render accountability for his stewardship to the nation. That will be good for the party's image in particular, you get it, rather than this brouhaha every day by running that he's running away from justice. I know he's not running away from justice, but he's looking at his safety and protection under the laws of Ghana if he were to come and they take him to Blue Gate and they take him to the other BNIP point at Nadvo. You get it? Those things, you know, it's something that I'm worried about. Okay. But if the state can give that assurance that his safety and will be protected, I believe his lawyer, Frank Davis, and others can. But let's see how the process is in the United States, which is deportation, not extradition. Because the extradition process may travel 1-2 years. Because we started the Sedinam Tamaklo one somewhere in 2024. You get it? They just got a response to that. So the deportation is what they are dealing with. The extradition is not being tied. That's why they say they should bring evidence to the court before they can stop that.
Okay, all right. Let me bring in Ofori-Atta. He is Communications Director of the CPP. Chief, good morning.
Good morning, Kujo.
Everything good?
We're managing it.
I'm sure you followed the issues yesterday.
Yes, I did. But first of all, let me acknowledge the fact that I like the prices I'm seeing at the pumps. Go to the fuel stations, and petrol for the first time is 9 cedi, 90 pesos, and diesel is 10. Man, I'm so happy about it. And I wonder why it was not done earlier. John, why? We've wasted a lot of money buying fuel at exorbitant prices, and later on it's come down. But, good job. And I hope it continues like that.
You promise it on the international market price?
In 1 year.
The exchange rate?
In 1 year, John has done this for you.
No, let's not go there.
In 1 year, and you are still not satisfied.
Please, we are done with the fuel. Let's take we're done with fuel. No, please hold on. Shabab, honorable. Let's do the Ken. Let's not go to fuel.
What is Ken Ofori-Atta doing in this mess?
Doing what?
Doing in this mess.
Okay.
Get up and ask myself, why is Ken Ofori-Atta in this mess? What is he doing there? Because only he himself can exonerate himself. We are talking about the man who once upon a time held the public purse, controls the finance of this country. He's being treated like a common criminal in somebody else's land. Because your visa status has expired, you are illegal immigrant.
Oh, but yesterday they explained that.
Hold on.
Because of what you use, you said, hold on. You say
what I was saying.
You said that he's been hold on. You say he's been treated as a common criminal.
Of course.
But let's give education that in the ICE. There are people there who are not. I'm told it's only 30% who are criminals. 70% aren't. So,
okay, there's a duration you intend to stay in that country, right? And then the agreement between you and the country is that when your time reaches, you come back home.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, you flaunted the laws of that country.
Yeah.
And it's a crime. Is it not?
Yeah, it is.
So that's what I mean.
But his visa was to expire.
That's one. I don't even want to buy that.
Yeah, but
look, you're going to the UK.
Revoke.
All right. You want to spend 6 months.
Yeah.
Then on your 4th month, you realize that look, things are picking for you, so you want to stay there. What do you do?
You apply for extension.
Exactly the point.
That's what he's done.
No, but the point is, how long does it take? And then we are not talking about me and you. We're talking about once upon a time the finance minister of Ghana. And just like George was saying, this is a man who's got EB investment in the US. So why is all those things not saving him? What is happening? And why is he subjecting himself to this thing? It is unacceptable. So I don't like what George was saying that, okay, so it's deportation. So he can go back to Guyana or the UK. You should come back to Ghana.
That's your wish.
For 7 years, we gave you our purse. Keep the books. Make sure everything falls in line.
Yeah.
We've changed you. Somebody else has come and said, look, I've noticed some abnormalities and I need clarification. And I think the man who was handling the books will be in the position to tell us. And you're saying you won't come. What are you doing there?
It can be done.
But he says he's given the optional of being interviewed virtually.
Today, the whole Attorney General.
Wait.
The whole Attorney General of Ghana.
Don't go there.
If you are sorry that nothing untoward will be happening.
Why was it that?
Nothing evil will happen.
I think that he should have run this country as finance minister virtually. He should have got his pay virtually and all those things. It's been an insult to us. Now, we are talking about, he's afraid for the way he will be treated and blah, blah, blah.
Afraid of who?
Are we talking about the same Ghana? Like the same Ghana we are in? Are we talking about the same Ghana? George, I'm asking, are we?
Yes.
You are worried about the same Ghana?
Yes.
Which of the people? Which of the people you mentioned? Yes. Okay, and by the way, for clarity, which means my cousin, blood. Okay. Yes. Now, point is this: which of these people was mishandled, shot, beaten, tortured? Which one of them was that? I'm asking. I'm only asking. I don't know. I'm seeking clarity. Which of them was tortured?
None of them.
I mean, if you are going to be arrested and you are invited, okay, and there's a way to drag you there.
This has been happening.
To answer questions.
Even an NPP, it happened west.
In any case, I am told, and we all know, that when it comes to the Nana Akufo-Addo, Ken Ofori-Atta, the family line, you have a lot of lawyers. Good lawyers. We have Gaffer Dani, former Attorney General of this country. We have Fan Davis who just spoke. Gary Marco. All these people. So if Ken is afraid. Gabi himself. But let's put Gary aside because he's not doing politics anymore. Okay? And the MPP has got a lot of lawyers and he's a member of the MPP. Yeah. So if he's so afraid, like he wants to put it, we can all negotiate where his lawyers meet him at the airport. Take him to all the authorities, okay? Whether it's Yoko, whether it's NIB or wherever it is, okay? And then he writes his statement and all that. And then he can come from home to those places when he's requested to. Again, I'm only asking. In the United States, this is the only place on earth where he is supposedly looking for that medical treatment. Apart from the United States, no part of this the world can treat the supposed illness he's having. Because this is embarrassment.
Trusted doctors,
This is embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed? Because sometimes you go to some website and Ghana's former finance minister in ICU detention. And I'm like, wow. I don't know, but in fact, I think Ken Ofori-Atta must be bold enough to say that, look, I don't have anything to hide. So I am coming home, and this is how I want to arrange things, okay? There's always a negotiation. So his lawyers can sit down with government officials and say that, look, the man is already sick, as we've been told, all right? So we cannot be handled like somebody who's already strong. And so this is how I want to do it. First of all, we are going to bring him in, and then he will just write a statement, he will do blah, 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 and do all these things. And anytime you need him, we, the lawyers, will provide him. It's as simple as that.
The kind of bail bonds we are asking for in this country nowadays.
But the point is that your crime, the crime you've committed, okay, warrants a certain bail bond. You understand my point? The crime you've committed warrants a certain bail bond because the point,
but you have to. Can we say the crime he's committed and not alleged?
No, it's alleged. I'm saying that no, he is talking about bail bonds, and I'm saying that normally bills are set at the crime, at the height of the crime.
You are alleged to have committed. All of them are alleged.
What you see, when you are granted a bail, okay, the condition is that, okay, in case you jump bail, all right, there should be enough funding or properties or whatever to defray whatever you've been accused of. You understand? So that it was in response to judge. I'm not saying that he has committed a crime. Everything against Ken Ofori-Atta now remains alleged.
Yes.
Accusations, mere accusations. And that is why I am worried that all these fabrications, accusations, as in quotes, okay, are being leveled against you. And you are in somewhere, and you are being detained, and you are being, treated like somebody who is nobody. But once upon a time, you were the finance minister of this country, unless he's admitting that he's guilty as charged. I'm saying that unless he's admitting that he's guilty as charged, he should negotiate. He should talk to his lawyers to come home. It is so inhumane. I'm so disgraced that my former finance minister will be put in the detention. Why has he been put in the detention? Because his visa status has expired and he's going to be deported. I mean, look, just think about it. And look at how it's bad. Okay. The image is bad. Okay. And I think that Ken Ofori-Atta must come and then answer all these questions. And know what? He shouldn't go to the UK. He shouldn't go to any other country. All right? He should come home. If he is clean, I mean, I'm sure government can even facilitate, what do you call it? He's going back to the UK. The US. Because you know what? In all these things, I ask myself, if indeed this man is clean, if indeed, I'm only alleging, and then he's all that, a simple note verbal from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs could have cleared all these things. A simple note verbal from Okudzeto, okay, saying that our former finance minister is sick. We as a country are aware of it. He's seeking medical attention in your country. And so we need you, because of the bilateral relationship we have, to assist him. This could have been done. So why is he in this mess? Like I said in the beginning, why is Ken Ofori-Atta in this mess? And why is he still in there? Why is he disgracing the entire country, Ghana? Because don't forget, we have ambassadors. Okay? Even if one at all, so can't, if he's clear and then we are all convinced in our mind, can't the ambassador, Victor Smith, go to his aid? Why are we here?
But it's the same government officials who raised
The point, that's why I'm telling you that, because they are not clear in their mind. You understand my point? So if Kenneth Ofori-Atta is not guilty as charged in court, okay, he can come back home and say that, look, all these things are lies and fabrications and allegations against me. And I want to clear myself. Now, these are my lawyers. I want to write down my statement. Blah, 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 blah. Anytime it's needed, he's sent to, what do you call it, the authorities, okay? When he's free and the authorities don't need him, he can even go back to the UK, the US, and see the supposed medical treatment that he wants. But the point is that, why is he on the run? Why is he allowing himself to be mistreated and I want a better word. I'm trying to. Why is he in that position?
Maybe he knows his body. He knows what he's going through.
What is he going through? What is he going to? Because no, you know what? In the same place, if you are that sick, I'm not sure the Americans will detain you and put you under that conditions without verifying whether you are, fit for purpose and all those things.
Okay.
You understand? So I don't buy the fact that he's sick. It is simple. You kept our books. You took money from us. Every budgetary allocation was given to you. Okay, we have questions. Come and tell us what you did with our money. How is that a big deal?
Okay.
How is that a big deal? I mean, it doesn't make sense. I think you should come home. And you know this, quickly. I want to find out what the former president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo think about this. After all, he was the one who appointed him. All right? Whatever Kenneth Ofori-Atta did, he did it on behalf of the president and the people of Ghana. Okay, he's been quiet for too long.
Why must you seek his opinion?
Because no, the point is that because you appointed him.
Yes.
Okay, wait, and the laws of this country, no, it's not about whether he's an adult or not. Yes, I'm saying that at the point somebody employed him.
No.
All right.
But it's not as if it
told
is so
all his appointees
you
will be accountable at the end of
that's why I'm looking for his opinion.
Yes.
So that's why I'm looking for his opinion.
You know his
what I'm saying is that
you know his position.
Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is the former president of this country.
He doesn't have to.
He swore by the constitution of this country to protect the people and the president of this country. Wait a minute. Yes. All right. He told us that one of the people who can help him function very well in the financial sector was Ken Ofori-Atta.
Yes.
Even when his own members of parliament were saying that things were not going well, he just sat to him and said, no, Ken is doing very well. Now Ken is a fugitive, all right, facing humiliation to the point of deportation. We want to know the man who hired him, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president of Ghana for 8 years.
But that
the person who's a lawyer, the person who swore by the what does he think about all these things? Why is he? Why is he not telling Ken Ofori-Atta, my brother, come back home? There's nothing to be worried about. After all, I've been the president of this country. I know the laws. I'm a lawyer, and I think that you'll be treated fair. I want the position of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. What is your position?
Okay, yeah.
It's meaningless.
Andrew.
Very important.
Ken is an adult.
It's not about the adult. It's about who employed him, who gave him that position, which ended him. Look, if Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had not appointed Ken Ofori-Atta, Ken Ofori-Atta might not have ended in this situation. And now that he's in this situation, it is only fair. Now that he's in this situation,
you cannot
we find out the person who appointed him in the first place thinks.
Thank you very much.
It's not.
Someone watching us, Andrew says, well, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has nothing to say in this.
Yes.
Why not?
Ken Ofori-Atta must be allowed to face this drum. And he ends by saying, Dr. Bawumia's ideas are central to daily life in Ghana and must not be sidelined in the MPP. Vote for him to be flag bearer. That's what he said. I'm sure this is not. He's not happy.
That's
the first one he was happy.
That's not what he wants to hear.
But no, hold on. Say again.
No, Dr. Bawumia and the election.
The first one when it came already, he was happy. Don't worry. Hold on. Let me go on to Zoom. We've kept Dr. Asante there for long without speaking. Doc, I mean, as an ordinary Ghanaian, having watched what was happening and listening in, what do you make of what's happening?
Yeah, I'm not surprised about all that we are seeing and experiencing now, for the simple reason that one, that it is the public has very high interest in this matter. So you are seeing people who are using every means to make sure that they want to see this case begin and finish to its logical conclusion. So you can see all manner of behavior in this regard. Two, people talk about the fact that Ms. Ofori-Atta want to come home and then come and render account for the stewardship of his office. Beautiful, but he only worried about conditions that exist for him to be able to do this. It brings to question that this country, are we saying for the fact that there are certain conditions that we have created that are at variance with rule of law? Is that the case? If the answer is yes, then this country, we need to right that wrong. Because it shouldn't be Mr. Ofori-Atta. It shouldn't be any human being. Let conditions be equal and plain for everybody. There should be conditions that allow rule of law to be used and used appropriately in. If that is the case, then I'm afraid my country, your country, we need to fix this so that we create an enabling environment that allows for what? Justice for everybody. After all, we want to build a society that we can call what? A just society. A society where there's no discrimination, a society where there's rule of law, a society where people can access justice without any pain whatsoever. Having said this, the issue of accountability, people want to go to political office. There is nothing wrong about that. But at the end of the day, they are always aware that at the end of their tenure, there is accountability, right? And accountability, for me, is there for any human being who occupy public office. So when the time comes for people to render accounts, it shouldn't be that difficult. And I'm not by this saying that Ms. Ofori-Atta feels so difficult in answering questions. No. But I'm saying that accountability exists, and Ms. Ofori-Atta is very much aware of this. All that we are hearing and we are seeing from me, from where I sit, I have no doubt in my mind that when the time comes and there is a need for Mr. Ofori-Atta to come to Ghana, he will make himself available. So people talking about he will go to Guyana, Britain, and whatnot. Looking at his demeanor, the kind of person he is somebody who wants to always guide his integrity and all that. I am very, very, convinced that when the time comes and he needs to come home, he will come home. So I am not worried because he has a lot in terms of investment to protect here and outside, a lot in terms of what his status and his image, and of course, by extension, the image of his political party, that the party has over the years prided itself as a party hinged on rule of law, a party that believes in democracy and all its tenets. So my appeal is that let us not crucify Mr. Ofori-Atta. Let us, as at now, believe that all that people, the government and everybody is saying about it, they are all allegations. And that when the time comes and he's here, he's coming to what? Demonstrate the knowledge that he has on all these issues for us to know the clarity. When we proceed in this direction, we are not going to hurt feelings. We are not going to destroy the system we have built over the years, and we are not going to create a certain antagonistic situation for people within the political sphere. When we approach democracy this way, people begin to own democracy, and they are proud that democracy will give us what the real dividends that we require. Okay. So people have all manner of views about these things. In matters of law, it's not about your feeling. It's not what you think, but it's what the law says. So let us be guided by this. Once we approach this matter this way, there should not be any apprehension whatsoever. And okay. That at the end of the day, when the man is ready and he comes here, whatever the public want to know or the state want to know, I am sure we will know.
I'm grateful to you, Dr. Kwame Asah-Asante. He is a political scientist and lecturer at the University of Ghana. On phone, we're joined by Frank Davis, lawyer, Ken Ofori-Atta's legal team, also by Duncan Acquah, who is Executive Secretary for the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC. In studio, I had with me Osei Acquah. He is the Communications Director of the CPP. Honorable Nelson Kofi Jabab is MP.
Is the CPP still strong?
Yeah, he said they are winning the next election.
Apart from debating.
Nelson Kofi Jaba is MP for Karachi East, and my own friend George AEC is a former director of communications for NADMO and a member of the MPP's communications team, and also a member of the Ken Ejapon campaign team. But let me just wrap up with this particular message here from a friend of George. George, this one is from, you're asking whether it's good. Okay, so let me give it to you. It says, it would be very condescending of President Akufo-Addo to wade into the Ken Ofori-Atta debacle. In February 2025, Akufo-Addo admonished all his former appointees to stay in Ghana to render account when they are called to do so. As for Bernard Mona and his team, they are only doing politics. Does Ghana need Ofori-Atta fiscal presence to have him prosecuted? Amazing convictions. Anyway, Dr. Baumia is the most prepared, most formidable, and most marketed candidate for the 2028 elections. Manchester Bruce, the second, brought this one. Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Please. Guys. Okay. So happy birthday to Manoj Lakiani, Group Chairman of Blochem Industries. This is coming from management and staff of the multimedia group. Manoj Lakiani, Group Chairman of Blochem Industries, happy birthday to you, sir, and thanks for everything you do for us here. And to you, Winston Wobel of EcoBank headquarters, good morning to you, my friend. And thanks for everything you do for us, especially when we are doing the EcoBank Joint Use Habitat Fair. Well, AM Show is sponsored by Shield Silicon Paint from Azar Group, Syntex Pipes, and Time About Mixture. Now, First Sky Group invites the public, you and I, to its 23rd Thanksgiving service themed Proclaiming the Mighty Deeds of the Lord. It will be hosted by the founder and executive chairman, Mr. Eric Sedi Kutoche. I hope I got the name right. You help me. Is that right? Good. Okay, I'm told it's right. Yeah, activities will begin with an all-night service on Friday, January 23, 2026, at the Trinity Temple Assemblies of God in Tema. And the main Thanksgiving event will take place on Sunday, January 25, 2026, at the Accra International Conference Center, featuring Reverend Dominic Yeo as guest speaker, Apostle General Sam Kranchi Ankra as chairman, and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as special guest of honor. The administration in music will be done by Kofi Owusu Pepra. Let's all meet there. Again, good morning to you, Winston Wobel of EcoBank headquarters. We'll take a break here. When we return, we have a date on the MPP's flag bearership race that's coming up. You know that 31st January will be the day the MPP will elect their flag bearer. We'll be talking to one member from one of the sites. Well, you have to stick and stay with us. We'll be back. Stay with us.
But what